Welcome back everybody for another figure review. Now without further ado, let's roll the intro. That is correct everybody. Today we're reviewing the SH Monster Arts Godzilla Earth. Now I absolutely adore this figure. I love it for the mere fact that it's a different departure and take on the Godzilla lore. It's unique in his look. Powers and abilities are very, very different from the Godzillas we know. If you've watched the Netflix trilogy, I won't go into too many details because there's a lot of spoilers if you've not seen it. If you have seen it, obviously you know what I'm talking about with the mere fact of the guy's size. Monster Arts have done an exquisite job of replicating the sculpt and the 3D model from the actual Netflix trilogy. Now this is the Earth version because he's sporting his little beard, which I thought was a little addition to show he'd aged. But as with any Monster Arts figure, it's more the crowning glory of the series when it comes to the articulation. Comparable to NECA, because NECA, I will admit, have gotten better with their articulation over the years, but unfortunately Monster Arts will always beat them hands down every single time. The only thing I will say on the NECA figures is that some of them do have better paint jobs. But when it comes to this guy, not that you'll see it, because in all the promo shots, they seem to gloss the fact out that this guy has an almost metallic-y, light and dark green and blue paint job going throughout the entire body. And why they would miss that from the promotional shots is beyond me, because that just makes this figure glorious to look at when the sunlight hits him in a cabinet or through a window or through a camera flash. It's absolutely amazing to look at. Now I'll zoom in for you, okay? We'll go on a little flight mission. We'll zoom in, just so you can see what I'm on about, the little hints of greens, little metallic blues and things throughout the entire sculpt with the paint job all the way down to the tail. The fact that they missed that from the promotional art, I think, is a travesty, because it makes him just so goddamn gorgeous to look at. I mean, look at that. Look at the paint job. It's just incredible. Anyway, we'll go back to the figure. Again, it has some lovely joints on him. Unfortunately, due to the heat we're experiencing in this country at the moment because of the heat wave, some of them are loose, but that can't be helped. That's just the way of the climate. When it gets colder again, they'll tighten back up. But he does have some lovely range of motion, arm joints. You get some nice rotation on them. Now, that's a loose joint because of the heat, but just to show you with this hand, full range of motion. The neck itself is a separate joint for the head, a separate joint for the neck, so you can get some really nice posability out of the neck. He's got some real nice movement on the waist, as you can see here, so you can come back and forward. He's got some nice crunch there, so you can almost spin him round thusly towards the side for a very cool pose like that. Now the legs themselves, the feet are posable, but not too posable. You can move the legs in and out and you can get some quite nice range of motion. It's also got knee bend as well as a little bit of ankle movement for another joint you can see there. But don't hyperextend or try and muck around with them too much, because the last thing you want to do is you can pay upwards for nearly £100, £150 for this guy. So the last thing you want to do is get him out of the box when you get him home and then you snap a joint or something. Just remember, they're all on ball pegs, so just treat them gently and there won't be an issue. For instance, because of the heat, I could tell you right now, with the tail, if I move the tail in a certain way, that tail will pop off. But because it's a ball joint, it's not an issue. But there's another reason why I wanted to scroll, come along further down here to show you just the tail. From the mere fact, this tail, the motion you can get out of this tail with that ball joint, I mean, look at that. It's probably one of the best tails I've seen that have been done on a Godzilla figure. Now, I can't quite comment on Shin, because I don't own a Monster Arts Shin, so I can't quite comment on that tail. But for me personally, out of all the Monster Arts figures I've owned at the moment, the tail on this guy, Jesus Christ, it is just a nice all-round package I think that Monster Arts have put forward. And I absolutely love it. If you can get hold of this guy, I would definitely recommend him in your collection. Don't hold the fact that, you know, you may have not liked the Netflix trilogy. Put your doubts aside. He is Godzilla. He is a version of Godzilla, and for any Godzilla fan, he has got a place in your collection. Okay, well this is the end of the mini review, just to go over a few points and parts with him. Now obviously when it comes to retailing for this guy, you can get him pre-owned if you're lucky enough in the UK, but unfortunately, due to availability, unless your the local comic book shop has a couple set on the shelf, you're not going to really get this guy in the UK anymore. You're going to end up looking on eBay or maybe Amazon for out-of-country orders and imports. If you're lucky enough to know someone who maybe lives in Japan, well, you know, your quid's in. And just for a size comparison, here is one of my custom LED beam effects, which is a similar size to the Tamashii part effects. And that's pretty much all I have to say in regards to Godzilla Earth. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll catch you all later. Much love to you and your family.